There we go. Halfway up the, what do we call it? Monument to the Cathars? Is that what we call it?
Yeah. The Stele, or Martyrs Memorial, the only existing monument to Catharism, erected by private subscription by Deodar Rush's Society of the Souvenir, or the Society of the Memory, I believe in the early to mid 1960s.
And people are still leaving offerings.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Did you just put that apple there?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll never give up. We're not forgotten. And we're still trying to learn. We're trying to get it right next time. I always think that the White Lady is praying for all of us in the hope that we won't fuck up next time. That maybe somehow we'll eventually learn whatever it is we're supposed to learn and somehow get it right.
Well, Otto never saw this, did he?
No.
This is after the Otto era.
Way. The Martyrs Memorial, the Stele, was erected in the mid-1960s by the Society of the Memory, the Society of the Souvenir, which was the group founded by Deodar Rush, the judge of Carcassonne. And ever since the creation of this monument, which is the only monument to Catharism ever erected, the only sign of this vanished culture and of this vanished people, people have come to believe that this is the site of the martyrdom from 1244.
The field we're looking down at now?
Yeah, in reality it's not. It's almost certain that the massacre of the heretics did not take place at this site, but the presence of the Martyrs Memorial has led everyone to assume that this is the scene of the field of the stake. But the reality is that it's a remarkably calm place, tranquil, and does not carry any of the vibes of a scene of horror and massacres. I have never felt any evil presences here, never felt any perturbed souls or lost spirits. If there are still the astral presences of a few dispossessed, disembodied Cathars, I'd like to believe they're at peace. And here there's only a sense of clarity, of light and of tranquility. The horrors of the past are gone. And whatever foul fate befell these people, I think, happened somewhere else. Potentially further down the mountain where the village exists now. Some people believe that the heretics were taken all the way to Carcassonne, tried, separated and possibly burned at the stake in Bram. But I don't believe they died here.
Okay. Do we know what Otto's beliefs were at the time?
I think Otto was still forming his beliefs when he came here to Montsegur. He had really never heard of the place until he set foot here. It was the Countess who first brought him here for a wedding in the village, and then pointed out the castle to him and said, La is the chateau of the Grail, the castle of the Grail, and then he began to his research and began looking into it. Of course, the Martyrs Memorial never existed.
And this is what year? Do we know when he came here first?
Otto came here in 1929, in the summer of 1929, end of the Roaring Twenties, just before the dawn of the 1930s.
So it's 90 plus years ago.
Yeah, long enough now that sadly I don't believe there is a single living survivor who still remembers that summer. Not here in the high valleys.
There's nobody.
Madame Couquet was the last who sadly passed not 6 months ago. Despite the Montsegurians having a very high rate of longevity, many of them make it to 100 or into their 90s. I believe Madame was the last who actually remembered Otto.
The very last of the generation, wow.
Yeah, they're all of them gone now.
Okay.
All of them lost in time.